Hello everybody, Xenia here from Alexa Real Estate, and I have a property management tip for you today. I'm actually sitting at home with my aquaponics system in the background. I'm a bit of a plant enthusiast, and my dogs, as you could see, that was Prince up here. He's a wonderful dog, he's a whippet, and I've got my little Olive, who you can see her backside right there, and she is my beautiful little caboodle. So I have had 8 weeks off from going into the office, and I'm ready to go back this week, and I actually can't wait. But I have got a property management tip for you today, and it's about how quick you should actually accept tenants after they put in an application. And it's actually, the tip is inspired by something that's happened in our office a couple of weeks ago. So when a property manager screens an application, they have done all of the work in the background. And one of the things that we look at is for the rent to be below 30% of the combined income of the tenants. We also look at past rental history, their ability to pay, how long they've been employed, references, all of that kind of thing. So in our office this week, we had about 20 or 30 applications. 20 or 30 applications on a property does not mean that it's going to get rented quickly. It actually only means that you've got 20 or 30 applications on the property. Out of those, there might be only about 2 or 3 applications that are actually qualified, and qualified enough to recommend to a landlord to take a risk on that property. Now, every single application and every single tenant that you put in a property is a risk. It's always a risk, but the screening criteria actually minimizes that risk. However, once you've gone through the screening criteria and it all sort of, looks good on paper at least, so it's the affordability ratio, you've got the references, you've got the real estate agency references and ledgers and all of that kind of thing, then you can actually take a risk on that tenant. Sitting on it for too long will actually result in losing the tenant, and this is what's happened this week. So we had 20 or 30 applications on a property. There were only 2 applications that were presented to a landlord. Both of them had high income, so their screening, their criteria was below 30%. They met all of the screening criteria, at least on paper. The landlord wanted a week to think about it. You might as well just say no. So they wanted, I think it was presented to them on a Tuesday or Wednesday. They didn't get back to our office until about Monday, Tuesday the next week, and said, reach out to the first one, which was not available, and then reach out to the second one. They lost the second one as well. The property was actually $600 a week, so we had to go back and show more people through that property. The other 25 applications or whatever it was were not good enough to actually even consider, so they had to go back and re-show that property to new tenants, get new applications. Long story short, the property got rented, and it got rented for $600 without having to do a rent reduction, which was a good outcome. But between them rejecting those applications to begin with and having to do the whole process all over again, and by the time another tenant went in, it was about 2 weeks. So if you consider that $600 a week, that was a loss of $1,200 for the landlord, because they couldn't make a quick decision. Had they made a decision straight away, the tenant would have been in the week that the application was screened. So if it was presented to them Tuesday, Wednesday, or whatever it was, that tenant would have been in on a Friday. So the process is actually pretty quickly. As soon as the landlord makes a mistake, as soon as the landlord makes a decision, the property manager should be ready to go and run with that application, have the property ready. So that is my tip for the day, property management tip for the day, and that is to be really, really quick to accept applications. If your property manager is presenting you with applications, they've done all of the back work. the background work, just trust them, trust the process, and go through with it. Everything is a risk. The risk is mitigated. You should have landlord's insurance in place anyway, but you can't just go second guessing that, you know, they may not because of their culture or because whatever. You know, you can guess things until the cows come home. You're not going to know, you know, the fruits of those tenants until you actually put them in that property and test them over time. So make a quick decision. You're actually in the business of real estate investing. You're not in the business of psychoanalyzing tenants. Get those tenants in there as quickly as possible. Get that income coming in from your rental property, and let your property manager deal with anything that might come up in future. So that is it for me. I cannot wait to get back to the office. I've had 8 weeks off, so I've actually had surgery. You can see the big scar there on my wrist. So yeah, I just can't wait to get back to work, get screening again, screening tenancies, showing I've got 2 open inspections tomorrow, yay. And I look forward to catching up with you more regularly now. All right, thank you. My email address is Xenia, Xenia, at alexarealestate.com.au. If I can help you with anything ever, please reach out to me. All right, bye for now.